want to ask, it's Heath, right? You're being awful quiet over there, but last year they did a video and you said your dealership was collecting about $30,000 a month.
It varies. It's more than any time. Most we've seen is 43
Okay.
in a month. We'll get a monthly check every month, and I think last month it was on 11, but we have another book to start paying, so it should go back up in the high 20s. So it should be.
So you must have worked through the processes so that, do you do a lot of applications?
Don't do a ton of apps. We're probably averaging, we need to be back up around 80 to 90, but right now we're in the 40 to 50 range. Since 08, 09, we want to be closing one about every 11 or 12 months. Key to getting big checks is closing 2 books a year at least. I mean, that's where we went through that frame of, 04, 05, 06, 07 was closing 2 books a year, and then 08, everybody hit the fan. So we lost, start back down to one book. We're seeing the benefit, or we're seeing that now, because each book's about 27 months we start collecting on it. So if you can get 2 or 3 books paying once, you get a large monthly check every month. It's good to pay the bills with, you get a check coming every month. Yeah. But we've been getting a check every month for long enough, I remember.
Something happens to a CAC dealer when he starts getting those checks. That's just, the whole mentality changes. I mean, every month, you're going to get a check, you know what it's going to be, and you got pools that are going to be paying out. And I mean, it's something. It's something. My wife is sold on CAC. She said, "How much we getting this month?"
Maybe we should have a wife panel next year and see what they have to say about CAC.
She said, "What are you doing at home?"
I'll touch on Mr. Sarah. Mr. Sarah they just closed their 14th book of business last month, and his 5th pool is about to start paying out, and he's receiving 65-ish in the mailbox first of every month. His pool's paying out. So as pool number 1's about to close, I think he's got $1,100 left in it. He's got another one about to pay out. So if you build your book of business and you're doing 2 or 3 a year, you're going to see that money roll in your mailbox, and you're going to be a really happy person.
Yeah, as one pays out, another one's added.
Once you prime the pump.
It's great, man, it's great.
Takes a few years to prime the pump.
So I want to add one statement. After you said that, he's getting 65, and you had times where you get 30, 45,000. We had a dealer, Auto Professionals, and he said, because everybody talks about the exit strategy, the exit plan, and one day, once you stop working. He said he's closed 27 pools, and he said that if I close my store today, I'll get $50,000 a month for the next 5 years.
Anthony Underwood.
Was that Anthony?
That's Anthony, not Idaho.
Okay, well, I knew someone, so
You're
Anthony, it's a dealer. I mean, that just blows my mind. Stop doing business, sell my dealership, make some money, walk away for the next 5 years, $50,000 a month. I mean, that's...
Now to get there, Mr. Graham, you said something earlier about not turning down your own deal. In order to get there, you really have to put the apps in. What are your guys' processes with apps?
Everything goes in credit acceptance first, regardless.
So how many apps a month would you say that is?
Well, we'll do 100, 120, on a normal month, something like that.
And what's the closing rate?
We'll deliver 15, something like that, 18. Yes, sir.
We've been doing about here pay here for the last 6 years. We're trying to get into the secondary financing. And I like the average customer that walk through our door, they're very impatient, and we're trying to figure out how to just get them to calm down so that we can take an app. They just, when they walk through the door, they just want to answer yes. Yes or no. They don't have the patience.
I mean, basically, when they come to us, they've been turned down by everybody. They just want to ride the work.
That's just where you tell them, guaranteed credit approval, we can put you in a nice car. I have a big sign in front of my place, a bit right under my credit stuff, a big sign. We are not, written big letters, buy here, pay here. Because I feel that a tremendous amount of people now have problems because of the economy over the past few years. And they don't want to be seen on a buy here, pay here lot. They don't, people coming by and saying, well, he was down here, I've got to buy here, pay here. So when they, we sell Mercedes, Lexus, BMWs, Jaguars, but then we sell a lot of trucks and a lot of cheap vehicles. But you got to settle down, first of all, that they don't have to do buy here, pay here. Do you want to rebuild your credit? This company reports to all three credit. That right there is the key. This company reports to all three credit bureaus, and you can reestablish your credit. That's the key for me.
Yeah, I think the same thing kind of goes back to when we talk about not asking how much money down somebody has. You're not the determining factor. They need to understand that there is a third party involved. I am not credit acceptance is not me. I don't make their decisions, okay? So the sooner that you inject that into the formula, that I'm not a buy here, pay here, we're trying to do a loan with an actual company that reports to all three credit bureaus, we have to follow their guidelines. Here is a simple printed out list of everything that you need. I'm gonna highlight these 5 items for you. Bring that in, you ride. You know, but the sooner you get that into the formula that I am not them and they are not me. We are a car dealer and that is a bank, and we're trying to get an actual loan through an actual bank. It starts to eliminate all that, because we get that, I promise you. We get every day of the week, 10 phone calls a day, how much down?
How much down?
That's it. How much down? I mean, our voicemail should just be
You gotta-
recorded.
I could explain the same things and not even, yeah, you could record everything.
Yeah. 10 customers walk through our door, we got 8 of them, $500 down. I just got a text right then, 700, I have 700.
They got more than $500 down.
Yeah.
We got more money.
Tell them come on in.
We average
Percent
about
of money, I'll give something.
$3,400 or $3,500 down payment per deal. And the truth is, that comes fairly easily, but here's what we find is, A, we stay off the topic. B, we find them something that they love. They love it. And even if they can't afford it, like he said, you hit them over the head with something so stupid, you know they're not gonna do it. It takes 13 grand down, and then they just kind of fall over and their eyes glaze over, but you know what, the next number that comes out is the real number. They
You
walk
don't have
in,
to
say
say-
700 down, the next thing you know, he goes, I've got 35. Well, you still can't drive that car, but let me show you what you can drive, and then you switch.
A
It's,
customer has been educated, they do 500 to get your thinking down.
Mhm.
And I hit them at 10,000 to get their thinking up.
Exactly.
And I'm talking myself and start off laughing. I said, if you laugh one more time when I say that, you're fired.
Yeah.
I'm as serious as a heart attack.
Yeah.
But when you tell them 10,000 down, they say, man, ain't no way I come up more than 2,500.
We have a little saying, the riskier the loan, we get into, you're gonna need half down, you'll finance the other 70%. And people kind of look at you a little funny, but sometimes that's the case. I mean, it's just what it takes, but you're gonna be in a real car loan. And he's got it right, you peel them off the ceiling.
So how do you mark your cars up? How do you defeat the program? They say if you buy a $7,500 car.
I mark my cars up. Not being recorded.
You know I'll edit you
I
out.
mark up a flat $4,000 a car. After the lot fee, after the recondition fee. A flat $4,000,
So your true ACV plus full grant.
yes. And if it comes out to some odd number, I'll round it off.
I'll use the words of Sammy. They mark their cars up about $2 grand, but he says that, doesn't matter how far you mark them up, when you go work them in caps, it's like the dealer said on the video as you're walking in, you mark it down $1,000, you're making $400 more in initial profit. We could sell our cars for less than what we advertise on the internet and make more money through caps, and think you would, so.
But what you got to think of,
Best.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay. It's just with what works best for you.
What you got to think about, though, what I think about is 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. The more you sell it for now, the more you're gonna get down the road. So you can cut your deal. Now, I'm not saying that, I do cut my deals from time to time, and I'll make more up front, but the more I sell it for down the road, the more I'm making on my back.
What's the average percentage rate for your area?
And you mean down payment, or?
I mean, are you, it seems like everybody has a sweet spot for their percentage rate, and ours always kind of
No, I'm a flat 23.99.
Yeah.
I don't change it. Now, there are times I'll take it down to 18. I never take it less than 18, but I am straight across the board 23.99. And I said it's on 99% of my.
That's a good question. How do y'all handle that?
I do it pretty much the same as Mr. Graham, 23.9. In certain situations at my store, I can lower the rate and get more money, but, it's a foolproof system. Just follow the system. You can't lose a credit system.
You have complete control over every one of those variables,
Yeah.
pretty much, and I mean, you can, if somebody, and you kind of find out what their hot buttons are. If it's rate, if they're rate sensitive and not payment sensitive, then, and they got plenty of money down, then you can work the numbers. Hey, I can get you to 16.99. You're just gonna need 5,000 instead of 3.
I don't mean to keep
But they
jumping.
might have plenty of money, you know what I mean? So-
Credit acceptance, if you'll just explain it as simple interest.
Yeah.
People,
Simple and
I mean,
slow.
say, do you understand the difference between simple interest and add-on? No, I say most people don't. When you explain it, they don't have a problem with APR. Just simple interest, just simple interest. And that's one of the great features of credit acceptance, it is a simple interest loan.
Yeah. We always use the term risk-based loan because there's a risk and there's a reward. And if you want a lower rate, lower the risk, put more money down, right? But if you want to go in and say, okay, and we'll give them options. We'll say, hey, we can do 24.99 with $2,500 down. We can get it down to 19.99 with 45. We can get it down to this with this much. What makes sense for you? And then as soon as you say the magical simple interest words, 9 out of 10 times it's right back up to the highest APR, lowest down payment. I'll pay it off later.
The options you just
But we
gave
give them the
sounded like a Foursquare from a
It's
dealership. like,
very similar. We'll do that a lot.
you
And
know,
same
pick-
scenario with gap or warranty. No, you don't have to take anything. Nothing is forced upon you. It is a decision that you make, but it is risk versus reward. So how risky is your loan? You take the warranty off, it's more risky. It's gonna take more money down now.
Do you
And I think
use
that's where you
the
get
shopping
into
cart to
mid,
do that?
We do.
You do? That's awesome.
Don't you ever have issues though with having to structure payment and then you have to lower the price, lower the interest, lower?
You mean to get their payment down within
Yeah,
a
that's
quarter,
always a big
25%?
issue for us, getting the payment.
Sometimes you run into that issue, and then it just takes more money down. Get you, if you want this car, put more money down, and then we can get you within that payment.
The key where I'm gonna sell a car. I'm there to sell cars. And if I have to take a very short deal and a credit acceptance, I know that I'm gonna make money down the road.
Right.
So I'm gonna do whatever I've got to do to sell the car. Cut the price, cut the rate, cut the payment. When it's all said and done, they're gonna leave in a vehicle.
But there's a $3,000 deal waiting around the corner.
Exactly.
Maybe the next one or the next one or whatever.
And you
It's an
guys are
average.
focused on the big picture, you know that pool money's there and it's coming.
Yes.
So you're looking at averages. If you do a 3,000 deal and you do a $500 deal, you just average 1,750.
Right. Yeah.
Right, but you know that the back end money on that 500 deal today is still gonna make you probably 2,500 in the back end.
You have to
So
close
it's just
the pool.
close the pool, it's a volume.
And you just close it that much quicker because every month that a pool stays open, there's $5.99 fee tacked on to that thing. That's huge, but every day it stays open, it's just another monthly fee.
What did you just say?
There, isn't there like a $5.99 fee, I think?
It's a servicing fee.
Servicing fee on a monthly basis or something?
Yep.
So you wanna close that pool as soon as possible.
Yeah, speed is the name of the game.
Do you have other finance companies also?
We do, yeah, we have a large number through DealerTrack. We do probably about the same as he does, about 15 deals a month, but we'll do 40 to 50 total. So we advertise all of our prices extremely aggressively. I mean, we use a pricing analytics tool. We're competitive in a 250-mile radius. We're measuring all those analytics, days supply and scarcity and everything. And so our business is not based around solely credit acceptance because
How
I don't
many
think,
finance companies do you have?
we've got three primaries and probably 8 other secondaries.
'Cause
Now,
we get
having said
subprime-
that-
We get subprime